Danny's Adventure Team, assemble!
Vamos lá. Nova areazinha. Aqui eu já liberei quase todos os TPs, ó. Ainda não explorei muito a fundo algumas coisas, mas já tá quase tudo exploradinho. Os baús eu tô deixando tudo fechado pra pegar depois.
Off we go!
Question. After the seed sprouts, will it grow into anything?
I don't know, but I feel the importance will lie in the method, not the endpoint. Using alchemy to awaken otherworldly life into that would constitute a big leap in my understanding of the essence of life. After awakening, even creation may be possible. Still a little difficult to understand?
No, Paimon's got a brain. But what's the seed gonna become? Isn't that more interesting than whatever it was you were saying?
Well, if it turns out to be a delicious fruit, dinner's on me.
Yay! Paimon's holding you to it.
Well, let's just say I, occasionally have to look after a child. Another lengthy explanation, I'm afraid. I suppose it's one of the few non-alchemy related disciplines I'm any good at. The subject of my first research was the elements. In this world, manipulating the elements requires a vision. Though I can't see anything resembling one on your person. How you're able to freely manipulate elemental power is something I'd like to ascertain. I've got a few questions in that regard. Firstly, do you have any extra organs? A second heart? A fourth stomach? Things of that nature. Fascinating. And this floating child is connected to your body in some way?
What a stupid question! Can't you see the gap between us? And another thing, it's Paimon, not floating child.
I was merely considering the possibility that you were an external organ. Perhaps there is some invisible force connecting you. Oh, that rules out that possibility. I wonder, did Paimon guide the elemental power to you? But that would mean that Paimon's elemental power would be enough to break through a mountain rock at least 10 meters thick, or cause the waterfall south of Springfield to flow backwards. No, that definitely can't be it.
Hey! How would you know anyway?
In that case, it would appear that there's no obvious difference between the composition of your body and that of the humans in this world. Given that there's clearly a discrepancy in the research, it seems that only experimentation will yield the answers. Firstly, this mysterious elemental power. I'd like to examine exactly how it manifests externally. Let me lure a few slimes to the area. Perhaps you'd be able to defeat them, using whatever method comes most naturally to you.
Huh? Doesn't seem very sciencey.
Direct and clear observation are imperative to a good experiment. This is just a simple exercise.
E aí, Zerg, de buena?
Naturally, if you require a greater challenge, we could bring in 6 Oceanids.
Cara, eu nem tô no vício, velho. Eu tava sem jogar mais de uma semana. Joguei um pouquinho disso aqui. Fiquei uns 2, 3 dias sem jogar. Aí tô jogando hoje de novo. Eu tô jogando muito Cyberpunk. Tô com mais de 60 horas, ó.
Slimes! Slimes are fine!
Well, prepare yourself. The slimes will be here any moment.
Eu vou jogar agora aqui porque eu vi que tem um evento, né? Aí eu vou tentar pelo menos completar antes de acabar. Aí depois eu consigo jogar mais de boa de novo. Mas eu tô entrando pouco agora. Ah, eu tô, né, velho?
Written in the stars.
Let me scribe.
Midnight Phantasmagoria.
Mas é que, querendo ou não, você entrar todo dia e fazer as diárias lá, meu Deus. Dá muito XP, né, velho?
Everybody stand back.
Great work. Did you feel anything out of the ordinary?
Calma aí que eu já te mostro.
If you're injured, I have a few emergency potions ready. Excellent. According to my observations, the manifestation of the external elemental flow is as expected. Elemental reactions are normal.
Mas basicamente a brilho da ficha é igual a da Mona.
Now that we know that the external flow is manifesting normally, let's test the internal flow.
Internal flow? How do you test that?
It's very simple. I can use alchemy to create a potion that will extract elemental power. If the elemental power is stored or accumulated physically within your body, this potion may elicit an elemental reaction.
Sounds kinda terrifying.
Don't worry. In the normal course of events, you'd feel some temporary queasiness. No bodily injury.
And in the abnormal course of events?
If anything unexpected occurs, I've made the necessary preparations. Try not to worry. Well, it's not that there aren't any risks involved. But if there is anything blocking your elemental flow, we'll be able to locate it with this test. Just a warning. If an internal elemental reaction occurs for any other reason, that's a bad sign. Yes, that's an excellent way to think about it. Before we get started, the potion we'll use for the test is missing a catalyst. We'll need to find it. It's a type of ore known as star silver, but unfortunately not all of it is suitable. I'll take you to my campsite. We can gather some star silver ore on the way. I'll point out any likely contenders. All going to plan, we should be able to begin concocting the potion when we get to the campsite.
Paimon's still got a few safety concerns, but it seems like there's a silver lining. Let's keep our eyes open.
Então, ó, qual que é o esquema aqui da...
I created another universe.
Tá com 2100, né? Mas eu tenho que upar a arma, que tá no level 80, tem que pular essa arma no level 90. Eu preciso dropar essas coisas aqui. Eu tô sem saco de fazer, mano. Eu tô só jogando agora pra fazer as paradas mesmo. Eu tô mais de boa. Mas qual que é o esquema aqui, ó? Como é que tá os artefatos dela, ó? Tô com isso aqui de crítico. Nossa, o dano tá baixo. Ah tá, é porque não tava só no artefato. Mas ela tá com essa build aqui, ó. 60% de... mais de 60% de taxa. 100 de crítico. Tem a recarga aqui de energia. Mas ela nem tá full, velho. Ó, essa aqui tá mais 16. A pena eu deixei mais 20. Vou mostrar aqui. Ó, eu tô usando flor roxa ainda, tá ligado? Porque eu tô com o set do Berserker, né? Aí eu coloquei a pena no máximo, né? Que é a pena que vai te dar mais dano. Eu tenho que upar isso aqui também. É que tá ruim esse do gladiador. Eu preciso pegar uns artefatos melhor, com mais substatus bons, tá ligado? E aqui eu coloquei taxa crítica, mas tá ruim também essa máscara aqui. Deixa eu ver aqui, a minha Mona tá boa. Ela tá quase tudo full mais 20. A única coisa que tá faltando é dropar um relógio. Um relógio dourado pra ela, né? Que tem uns substatus bons pra ela. Mas ela na build ficou assim, ó. 50% de dano, 170% de. 50% de taxa, 170% de dano. A bicha tá batendo pra cacete, velho. Pra cacete. E a personagem que eu tenho full aqui é a. É a minha Jean. Tá full mais 20. Set bonitinho, montadinho. $140 de recarga, que eu dei sorte de pegar uma pena boa. Tipo, essa pena aqui tá perfeita pra ela. Tá dando 17% de recarga. Aí o que eu tô buscando é sempre dano crítico, né, e recarga pra ela. Aí tipo, tem umas coisas que eu preciso pegar melhor, por exemplo aqui que brocou 2 vezes defesa, tá ligado? Uma bosta. Aqui também ataque em número, né, em vez de ser ataque por cento. E defesa também, uma bosta. Tipo, dá pra melhorar bem ainda essa build, tá ligado? Mas ela tá muito... Ela tá muito boa.
Here. Should do for catalyst purposes.
Oz, reveal fight!
Nossa, eu tô usando a espada errada nela, velho. Ah, é porque eu... É porque eu peguei aqui King nos tiros, né? Aí eu coloquei a espada aqui. Nossa, por isso que ela tá baixa ali, a taxa crítica dela. Tô usando... Era pra estar usando essa aqui, ó. Agora tá... bonitinho.
This one. Usable with a bit of polish. What luck. This should be enough. My campsite is just up ahead. I'll lead the way.
Off we go!
Ah, achei que tem que abrir um negócio aqui.
Adventure time!
Tem um PP aqui.
Off we go! Off we go!
This is my campsite. I've added the concoction. While we are waiting, have a look over here. My assistant Timaeus here is helping me with my research. I'm guessing you may have met in Mondstadt already.
Hello! I've just gotten hold of the data from your experiment. The report is already up on the board there.
Whoa! Look at all the data! You got all these results from one slime battle?
I wouldn't call them results, inferences, and a few daring guesses perhaps. I think the most rational direction would be to expound on the phylogenetic relationship between this traveler and the slimes. Consider. You don't have a vision, but you can manipulate elemental energy. The slimes don't have visions either, yet they too are able to manipulate the elements. Following this line of thought, I'm sure we'll be able to establish a basis in fact.
Not bad for a point of entry. But strictly speaking, slimes are elemental life forms. In other words, beings consisting entirely of the elements. A cryoregis vine, or even a wildflower might be a better analogy. But tracing back the phylogenetic relationships between plants and animals, you might have to trace back to the world's origins. In that sense, things might get difficult, don't you think?
Yes, sir. That sounds correct.
After all, we've got our primary data already. If it turned out that she did have a phylogenetic relationship with this world... Now that really would be something, wouldn't it?
Ah, it would. Apologies. I was so excited to get the data. I'll slow down a bit next time. Speaking of data, to complete our research, we'll need some more. I'll be conducting analysis here for the time being. If you're keen for an update, just come and find me.
Great. I'll leave you to it. Looks like the potion's ready. I'll try a little first. If all goes well, I'll hand it over to you. In line with my expectations. Ready to drink. Remember to keep calm at all times, and breathe deeply if you feel unwell.
Não sei se aqui é permanente, mas vamos marcar os lugares aqui. Que caralho, hein? Marcar os lugares que tem artefatos. Quando precisar fazer rota, já tem uns lugarzinhos, né, mano?
I've just tried some. Remember to keep calm. I'll be noting down.
Let's go find some treasure.
Tasty? You've got a funny look on your face. You said you tried some already. You sure it was ready? What's happened to her?
Oh, this was the result I was expecting. And a very positive one at that. This potion channels elemental power into the body. Under normal circumstances, a repelling reaction is to be expected. But if the internal elemental flow is unimpeded, you'll only experience momentary discomfort. Once the flow is complete, there won't be any other effects.
So you knew you'd be sick and still drank some?
It was my own concoction, of course. Only natural for me to be the guinea pig. But of course, you're my assistant. By all sense and reason, it would be wrong of me to place that risk onto you. In conclusion, I'd say we have our conclusion. As far as elemental energy is concerned, you're no different from anyone else in this world.
Aw, Paimon wanted something cooler to happen.
Then again, better an ordinary result than a peculiar result. Peculiar results have a tendency to be of the undesirable variety. The good thing about ordinary is that everything is an object of reference, and everyone understands you. People are the same. They can understand, empathize, encourage, and support one another. When you're sick, a doctor can diagnose you because they are you. When something goes wrong, you can ask people who've made the same mistake for their experience because you are them. But a peculiar person, they don't have much recourse for the things we take for granted. The essence of their life is fundamentally different. For example, a human can't understand the life of a pyroregisvine or an Eye of the Storm. Have I explained it clearly enough? To sum up, this has been a positive outcome. Going forward, you can use your elemental power without fear. Timaeus, the results of the new experiment are out. If you could see to collating them.
Just a moment, sir. I'll handle it. Oh, you gave me a lot to consider. Really stretched my limits. I'm thinking a lot clearer now. Having you down as an animal wasn't very precise of me, but starting with the premise of an elemental life form, now that was...
Not bad. I think it's an interesting line of inquiry. Whatever the truth of the matter, I'd like your research at the fore as opposed to my judgment.
You can count on me, sir. I'll extract a result satisfactory to all.
Is he trying to join the Knights? He's starting to sound like a suck-up. What Paimon meant to say was, that's the spirit? Mr. Albedo, say something.
Before we can proceed with our research, I need to prepare
Magal.
something. Wait one moment. If you're interested, why not have a look around? It may help to pass the time.
Mano, antes de eu fazer o resto da missão, eu vou matar o lobo. Eu sei que aqui tem um boss também, acho que é um javali, pelo que eu vi, mas não faço nem ideia de onde essa porcaria está. Vou matar o lobo aqui. E depois voltar lá. Se não me engano eu matei o Child. Ou não matei o Child, não lembro. Podia ter um checklist, né, dos boss que você já fez. É lá em cima na montanha esse javali aí? Eu tenho que equipar minhas armas, velho. Só que eu tenho que farmar os artefatos lá, as paradas lá pra upar, mó chato. Mano, se liga no Bennett, quanto que ele tá de vida aqui. 23k.
Benny.
Os artefatos tudo dando mais vida pra ele, tá ligado? Ó, bônus de vida, bônus aqui é de ataque, vida, né? Mas tudo dando bônus de vida pra ele. Mais 8, 16. E aí, Jonibes, de buena, velho? Tá tranquilo, tá tranquilo. Vou ficar jogando uns Genshin, provavelmente hoje o dia todo. Para eu completar lá pelo menos abrir, né, mano, o evento lá. Eu não quero perder as paradas do evento, não. Tô jogando bem pouco. Eu nem fiz nada da semanal ainda aqui. Acho que do jeito que tá aqui tá bom. Eu não upei a cidade semana passada, eu não matei os boss semana passada, não fiz nada, velho. Tava mais de uma semana sem jogar o bagulho. Essa semana eu não fiz nada também. Ah, então, deixa eu parar de jogar. Entrou Cyberpunk, velho. Tô jogando lá. Tem o pessoal que tá bem lascado com bug, né? Mas o meu tá rodando até de boa. Tô com umas 60 e poucas horas de jogo lá. Vou comer aqui uma... Não, tô jogando mais pra fazer as paradas, eu tava jogando mais pra entrar, fazer o... Fazer as diárias, tá ligado?
Let me start. Written in the stars. By royal decree. Everybody stand back.
Caralho, esse arrombado tá batendo, hein?
I swear by my sword. By royal decree.
Adventure time!
Let me scry.
Ai, viado. Cara, eu gostei do Cyberpunk, mano. Tipo, é um jogo da hora, tá ligado? Tá bugadinho, né? Esse bicho é imune? Que porra é essa?
Teamwork is vengeance. Fate is upon you. Shadow Race, let night fall.
Oi. Esse lobo aqui é muito fácil, velho. Pelo amor de Deus. É, tipo, tô achando da hora, tá ligado? A cidade é bem densa. Em relação às outras cidades que a gente já viu por aí, né? Caralho, vem essa bosta desse protótipo de lança, não vem do espadão, mano. Pra fazer o espadão da Noelle. Pena do gladiador. Acho que eu não consigo nem upar talento dos bonecos. Nossa, mano, é uma preguiça de fazer isso aqui, sério. Bennett não dá pra upar. Cara, eu upei minha Beidou e agora eu upei a Beidou, eu peguei a porra da Kiking, velho. Oh, tristeza. Tava upando essa bonequinha também aqui pra poder fazer o abismo, mas olha só o que eu peguei. Já coloquei ela no 50. Eu precisava matar o boss de raio lá pra poder pôr ela no 60. Cara, pior que eu tô jogando, um amigo meu já zerou, já platinou. Aí ele falou, mano, o final do jogo é muito foda, tá ligado? Aí tem que ver o final lá, como é que vai ser o esquema, né? Aí basicamente o que eu tava fazendo quando eu entrava no jogo? Eu fazia as diárias e gastava minhas resinas tudo no... Fazendo... domínio, velho. Esse domínio aqui, ó. Pra dopar a flor da... Pra dopar o ritual real, né? E o cavaleiro de machado de sangue. Só que só por Deus, só substrato de merda. Nossa, eu já fiz aquele... Sei lá quantas vezes eu fiz esse negócio, velho. E peguei muito item bosta, isso é louco. Escolher o que? BD... DBD? O que é DBD? Vai lá, velho. Provavelmente hoje eu vou ficar jogando bastante. Acho que hoje eu só vou jogar Genshin só. Porque eu tenho que fazer logo as missões lá. Eu tenho que passar uma missão pra liberar o evento e os caralho aqui. Então, né. Eu acho que só tem 9 dias pra fazer a parada. Eu vou fazer logo isso aqui. Eita, Jonibes, tomou. Tomou um monte de ban do bot, velho.
I'm back. Did you see anything interesting? Not to worry. They're all for alchemical purposes. You'd be hard-pressed to find an everyday use for them. Well, on with the research. There may be significant differences between different worlds. Take Tevat, for example. Here, those with visions can manipulate the elements. But worlds may well exist where only one person is able to do so. Or even everyone. So, leaving elements to one side, do you possess any unique abilities? Ones that don't exist in this world? I think answering this question calls for the same methodology as last time. In other words, time for the next experiment. No. You shan't be required to exert quite so much effort this time around. Now, see this pillar here? Use your willpower to try and break it.
You think Paimon knows how to do that stuff?
That was your best effort? Well, can't be helped, I suppose. Have you tried using your elemental power with food? I don't mean for cooking as such. Rather, channeling your power into the ingredients themselves. I'm curious to see how the taste and texture respond. It may even help with proliferation. I suppose I have a curiosity for things that others find surprising. Anyway, why don't you cook us up a sunshine sprat? I've just finished preparing the recipe.
Cooking? Paimon was looking
Puta, o
forward
cara
to
vai
all
usar
that
peixe,
scientist stuff.
Not only is this recipe a staple for me, it's also worth experimenting with and highly nutritious.
Paimon bets you're just hungry. That does sound yummy, though. Okay, Paimon up. Good buddies are...
I'll leave you to it then. Looking forward to the result. If there's anything left over, maybe Timaeus can finish the last one.
Paimon doesn't think we'll have that problem.
O cara vai me dar receita com peixe, mano. Não tem peixe, velho.
Maybe try the...
Aí me fode, né? Eu tenho um monte de carne, agora peixe. Tenho 12 só. A carne tem coisa pra caramba, ó. 270 de carne, de frango.
Where does he get these ideas?
Peixe na manteiga. Qual que é o esquema do sanduíche? Não era azul o bagulho que ele me deu? Ah, isso aqui. Peixe frito na manteiga. Aumenta a força do escudo. Ah tá. Achei que era pra aliviar o calor do lugar.
Let's just do it the old-fashioned way.
Ai meu Deus do céu, não tem como fazer essa merda. O que precisa? O que é aquilo ali, mano? É sal? Acho que é sal, né? Sei lá comprar essa porra. Podia dar pra fazer expedição pros caras pegar peixe, né, velho? Porra, muito chato, velho. Eu trocava as carnes por peixe, mano. Tô cheio de carne já. Tem coisa pra cacete pra fazer que eu deixei de fazer. Eu tenho capacidade. Nossa, velho. Eu tô deixando de fazer muitas coisas. Se aquilo ali não for sal, é leite, né? Mas deve ser sal. Não tenho sal. Tem, sabe? Não tem sal, velho. É sal. Vou comprar isso aqui também, que eu tenho pouco. Batata sempre usa nas paradas. Ah, eu não vou atrás de peixe, por isso que eu não tenho. O bagulho mais chato que tem, essas porra desses peixes aí. Bolinho não, o que é o negócio lá? Peixe frito na manteiga.
Rebooting. Ad Astra Abyssosk. Welcome to the...
Ó, tipo, não tem, né, como pegar peixe. Cenoura, mano. Quem vai mandar a expedição pra pegar cenoura, velho? Tá doidão? Olha lá, não tem, ó. Tristeza.
Venturers Guild.
Eu acho que eu tenho de cristal aqui, dá pra upar 2 armas, mano. O level 90, tá ligado? Eu tenho esse monte de coisinha aqui que deve dar pra upar a espada lá, né? Do evento lá. Tem que pegar essa espada logo. O que eu vou upar? Eu vou upar o arco da Fischl. E talvez a espada desse evento aí, a espada do passe, talvez a espada do evento, né? Aqui, ó, eu tenho 366 cristais ainda. Certo. Pra upar arma, eu nem lembro onde é que aparece os bagulhos pra upar arma. Se eu não me engano é aqui, né? Eu tenho 500 e pouco, se eu não me engano é uns 200 e sei lá quantos cristal. Dá pra upar 2 armas pro level 90.
I do worry about the well-being of my retinue during my impromptu absence.
I'm sure the good people of the adventure...
Absolutely fine, my Fräulein. Entregar para o arrabedor. Ô Magal, o javali ele fica lá em cima na montanha lá, é? Onde fica este puto? Quero ver, testar esse boss aí, mano. Ver se é o bichão mesmo. Primeiro já vamos liberar ali, ó, já tá me dando umas agonias ver esse baúzinho fechado. Né? Porra, Magal. Ah, eita caralho.
Delves into destiny.
Tá.
Adventure time. Adventure time.
Aqui vai liberar um baú, né? Vai não?
Off we go.
Ó, como esse baú ele não fica marcado, aí esse aqui eu pego. Agora todos esses baús que ficam marcados no mapa assim, ó, eu vou deixar tudo pra pegar depois. Bom, você tem que descongelar 3 javali, eu não vi nenhum até agora. Eu acho que eu andei, apesar que eu explorei igual a minha bunda também, né? Tem um monte de lugar que eu ainda não fui aqui. Vamos me preocupar mais em fazer logo as missões aqui, pra liberar logo o esquema do evento lá. E aí, provavelmente eu devo achar esse bicho no
An
meio do
average
caminho.
outcome experimentally, but you've really brought out the flavor. As far as the proliferation hypothesis is concerned, we've come up short. See, unless... Could it be that the natural laws of this world are limiting your unique abilities?
We just didn't know how to channel element.
Not to worry. At least we put some food to good use. No need to feel disheartened. And here's your portion. Enjoy. I can box it up if you like.
Woohoo! Thanks! Glad you were paying attention.
I can tell that you're good friends. Paimon was keeping an eye on you and your safety during the whole experiment. Not that Paimon would have been able to do much if things had gone wrong. But anyway.
Hey! You were being nice a second ago! But you do have tasty recipes, so Paimon forgives you. And you're right, we are good friends. You have good friends too, right? Good students?
Yes. I'm fortunate too, I suppose. Anyway, moving on to the next experiment. There are all manner of alchemical items here. Keeping them in their proper place is a challenge at the best of times. A while ago, I had the misfortune of misplacing a batch. I managed to retrieve the majority, but 2 vials have been evading me. Animal crystal fly elemental extract and electrohypostasis powder.
Paimon's barely finished eating and you want us to go gathering again?
Don't worry if you can't locate them. I was planning to replace them anyway. Though finding them would save me the hassle. If you had, say, a superpower, like night vision or vibratory sensing, lost property would be a thing of the past. I must have dropped them somewhere in the area where you were looking just now.
So, guess we'd better take a look. Oh yeah! You could use elemental sight!
O que é o esquema? Os caras diminuíram o texto, né? Objetos perdidos. Uai.
This must be electrohypostasis powder.
Porra, é sério mesmo? O cara perdeu aqui.
Extract of an animal crystal fly can only be animal elemental energy, right? This has gotta be it.
Goodness, you managed to find them. Incredible. 1,000 thanks. I'm wondering, this elemental sight, this is what allowed you to locate the items and find me here on the mountains, correct?
Yep. Guess it does sort of count as a superpower, huh?
Unfortunately, though elemental sight is seldom seen, it is not unheard of in Teyvat. Only a never-before-seen otherworldly power would be of benefit to my research.
You mean we failed again?
Don't be disheartened.
Vai lá,
This
véi,
falls
vai lá.
entirely within my expectations.
Continuarei aqui.
Besides, getting these items back, I'd call this a very worthwhile experiment. I have to commend your deduction that the items would contain elemental traces. Right then. Up until now, our research has focused on your otherworldly identity. Our research on your identity as one of us is just beginning. In essence, the differences between humans are reflected in our intellectual and physical capabilities. Let's start with physical. Looking out from where we're standing, can you see what Sucrose is doing? And if you jumped from here and landed on that cliff, the one over there, could you see her then? So what about if you planted a single blow on the mountain face here, and it burst into 1,000,000 fragments? Then could you see her? Then I shouldn't get too excited. Still, we'll gain a more thorough understanding with an experiment. I know of a location that will be perfect for a physical test. Please, follow me.
Still in one piece. Good thing the vial's so strong.
Adventure time! Let me slide! friends, hear me. Ha! Delved into destiny, decided by destiny.
As you wish, mein Fräulein.
Delved into destiny.
Tá, essa segunda placa que eu acendo, mano.
Off we go.
Não sei se tem a ver com a porta. A porta secreta que tem.
Adventure time. Delved into destiny. Get out of here.
Nossa, abriu um baú sem querer.
Shadows of fate.
Oz, reveal the...
Get out of here. Teamwork is strength. Shadows of fate.
É, então, ainda não peguei nada daquela porta lá. Que são três baús secretos, né? Caralho, vou congelar nessa merda. Essa plaquinha aqui é a segunda que eu acendo. Mas é aquele espadão lá que tem uns bagulho de gelo lá, que dá uns buff de gelo, que é bom pra usar no Shogun. Porque eu vi que tem duas... Eita caralho, abri sem querer o baú. Acabei de abrir um dos três que precisa. Interessante. Tem que achar mais dois agora, né? Porque pelo que eu entendi, tem duas espadas aqui. Tem uma espada que, se eu não me engano, é a espada do evento. E tem essa espada que tá lá dentro daquele cofre.
Adventure time.
E eu já liberei umas 3 esferas. Que é tipo um bagulho secreto também. Que elas foram lá pra cima, mano. Lá pra cima da montanha, mas não aconteceu nada. Não sei se tem que abrir mais. Sei lá o que tem que fazer.
You want us to jump? From up here?
Not necessarily. Not if you know of a better method, that is. Whichever method you choose, the experiment will end when you reach the opposite shore of the lake. I will factor the time expended and your top speed into my comparative analysis. Without limitations, we complete tasks intuitively, using the method that seems most rational to us. Some of us would be unable to stand the icy waters. Others might find the whole thing rather refreshing. No matter what choice you make, it's all a part of the experiment. For me, Every detail is invaluable to the research.
Ah, mas então, eu já peguei 3 esferas. Só que eu não consigo subir, né, na montanha. Acho que tem que terminar a história aqui pra conseguir subir mais.
Then if you would, please, I eagerly await the results.
Wait a minute. While we're busy testing, what exactly are you gonna be doing?
Me? Recording data, responding to risks, providing emotional support.
So if we do decide to go swimming, you gonna dive in with us?
No. Unless you're thinking of conducting competitive research?
Oh! Forget Paimon said anything.
Great work. I've never seen a performance quite like it. Your reputation precedes you, traveler. The data shows that you're easily outperforming the average citizen in Mondstadt.
But you followed us the whole way without breaking a sweat!
Me? Actually, I used alchemy to cheat a little. But anyway. If it turns out that the natural laws of Tevad do not affect you, I should be able to make various inferences about the otherworldly civilization you belong to. If the natural laws of Tevad do affect you, then I shall be able to make inferences into the kind of evolution that would occur under the absence of such effects. The innumerable possibilities that this could present, the captivating insights, it would be something to savor again and again.
But how does this help your research?
You've helped me to unravel many of the problems that were holding it back. When we return to the campsite, I should be able to show you something interesting.
Legal que eles colocaram esse esquema de a conversa aí sozinha, né? Você tinha que ficar apertando antes, era um saco. Agora vai de boa.
I may be about to make some analogies between you and a few unusual specimens. I hope you won't be offended. Gold, petrified trees, a sun 8 times the size of our own. The essence of the investigative process is enthralling, but such feelings are inevitably fleeting in nature. I'm willing to pour all my energy into research, and yet specimens are finite. As the unknown transitions into the realm of scientific understanding, the feeling of enlightenment is lost. All these things that start out as objects of fascination end up possessing the prosaic mundanity of a sunsetia or a sweet flower. They cease to be noteworthy.
Oh, so that's why you wanted to sketch those hilly trails? Because you got to see something new and interesting and the differences between them?
Precisely. To quote my exact words from earlier, these creatures are, for the most part, quite boring, not worth closer inspection. There is precious little about them that serves to pique my curiosity now.
So after all these experiments, are we gonna be, like, boring to you? Like sketches?
Of course not. You have been of great assistance to me, and I will remember this friendship for a lifetime. Now, before we head back to the campsite, there's one more experiment. Intelligence. Follow me. There are some other ruins nearby.
Caraca, eu nunca vim aqui. Eu já vim aqui, que tem um negócio pra fazer. Cara, eu vou reto aqui, provavelmente reto aqui tem alguma coisa. Eu acho, né?
Off we go! Adventure time. Adventure time. Off we go.
Isso aqui deve liberar outra orbezinha lá pra cima, eu acho. Adventure time. A terceira está... Tá, como é que eu vou abrir? Em cima tem ainda, não tem? Cara, como é que eu vou abrir isso aqui? O bagulho dá volta em tudo. Isso aqui também? Tá, os bagulhos dão a volta em todos. Deve ter algum time certo aqui pra gente... É, então tem que deixar 3, né? Tem um time aqui.
Delved into destiny, written in the stars. Odds revealed by... Get out of here! Shadows of fate. Shadow Raven. Wait, hear me. Teamwork is dreamwork. Fate is upon me.
Se eu não me engano, o baú que eu tenho que pegar é esse aqui. Que você libera umas paradas diferenciadas. Eu vou deixar esses dois pra pegar depois. Ah, parece que tem um caminho pra cá, né? Ou eu tô muito louco? Sei lá. Mano, pra onde eu estou indo? Tem que ir pra cá. Ah, lá pra baixo, velho. Onde eu tava? Olha, tem um negócio ali, hein? Nossa, tem um...
We go.
Ah, eu preciso esquentar.
Adventure time. Off we go.
I imagine you must have encountered more than a few conundrums during your travels.
I
I'd like to observe your intelligence by means of a practical test of your capabilities, much as we did for the physical test. I'd like you to explore these ruins and return with your findings. There are 2 puzzles located at the far ends of the ruins. After completion, you should be able to activate the mechanism in the center. As with the physical test, there are no restrictions. Everything you do is an action I wish to observe. A tried and tested adventurer, I see. So, let's see you in action.
Ah, pelo amor de Deus, né, cara? Pelo amor de Deus, né, cara? É esse o seu testezinho? Porra. Já fiz os testes.
So proceed with caution.
Já fiz o jogo inteiro de teste já, rapaz. Tá, a mesma coisa do outro, só que aqui é... Esse aqui, se eu não me engano, deixa o bagulho mais tempo aceso, né? Muito fácil. Pelo amor de Deus, cara. Já resolvemos um jogo todo de puzzle, mano. Você acha que eu não vou resolver isso aqui?
Sealy like these are a common sight in the mountains. Returning them to their rightful places is up to you.
Oh, o seu teste de inteligência é seguir um série, é sério mesmo? Porra. Você tá de sacanagem. Eita caralho.
We go. My royal decree.
Tá. Agora onde é que tá o outro? Ah, tá ali. Sobe aí, filha da puta. Que? What the fuck? Você tem demência? Cheio das paradinhas no chão ali, né, mano? Oh, meu Deus do céu, velho. A inteligência desse arrombado subindo o negócio aqui. Se afogou. Que pena, né? Com certeza ele vai subir, né? Porque óbvio que ele não vai. Você vai? Olha aí, mano.
It should now be possible to activate the central mechanism. Exactly what will happen when you do is something I'm looking forward to finding out.
Hey! Explaining things is Paimon's job!
Oh, seems that the water level has suddenly decreased. We should be able to see what's in the water now. Let's have a look. What's this? To the best of my knowledge, these belong to a script of some kind. They can be found all over Teyvat, but they've never given up their secrets. There's still a lot to learn about them. And as for why they should ever have come to rest here, a true mystery. Let me make a copy first. I'll make time to go over them in greater detail after our research.
Another thing for the don't understand list. Unsolvable mystery this, weird experiment that. It'd be nice to get some cool results for once. Seems like if you want the reward, you gotta pay the price.
I've truly gained a lot from all this. Comparatively, the little reward I can offer is too small to mention. Let me return to the campsite first. By the time you get back, I may just have a fleeting miracle for you to witness.
Paimon's kinda looking forward to seeing the results of all this brain ache. Unless you can think of anything better to do, let's head back to the campsite.
Not so fast. You're not leaving until I'm convinced that nothing dangerous is going on here.
Ah, louca.
You didn't leave the mountain?
I most certainly did not. And I've witnessed everything that you and Albedo have been up to. I must say, you let your guards down. Or maybe you were drawn in by his compelling-sounding hypothesis and friendly demeanor. Taking orders from a complete stranger, drinking anonymous potions, participating in all kinds of strange experiments? I'd sooner believe you were tricked than that you would be so naive. Or perhaps you were colluding from the beginning.
Listen, sister, your guard's so high you can't even see over the top of it.
It doesn't matter what you think. He could be a saint for all you know. But I understand him a little better than you, Outlander. I'm only concerned with one thing. Whether his alchemy has transformed you into something more sinister.
No way! Paimon would have sensed it. And anyway, he didn't even use any alchemy.
With an alchemist of his level, you wouldn't sense a thing. In any case, I'm not about to let a potential threat back into Mondstadt.
So, what are you gonna do?
I've gotta hand it to you. You have your moments. If I can be sure that nothing you came into contact with is dangerous, that's good enough for me. I've investigated everything else. The only items left on the agenda are these symbols.
But we don't even know what they mean.
That much is true. Not to mention, seems like there's nothing more to them. But for insurance purposes, I'd better make a copy. This is now a location of interest. Regular patrols should be set up here. Now then, all things considered, I deem that you pose no immediate threat. Which is what I was hoping. I would have been one very unhappy sister if you'd made me work overtime on your account.
Overtime?
Before we go our separate ways, Outlander, a word of advice. Don't be so quick to trust Albedo, and don't repeat the same mistakes that you did this time. You made a lot of rash decisions today.
She's gone! So stubborn. Mondstadt doesn't have many people like that. Huh. Never mind her. Let's go see Albedo.
Não confie nele. Ah, vamos lá ver ele, foda-se. nada aqui. Quebra? Aqui tá marcado. Ah, falta liberar aquele TP, mano. Vamos liberar aquele TP? Vai ter alguma coisa interessante. Tá, porra.
Shadows of fate. Get out of here. Written in the stars. Everybody stand back.
O Bennett ainda tá curando pouco, mano. Tem uns Bennett que cura 5.000 de...
Off we go.
Nossa senhora.
Off we go.
Sobe, arrombado.
Off we go.
Que isso? Ah, o javali que você falou aqui. Já foi. Será que aqui que é o lugar do javali?
Shadows of fate. Adventure time.
Ops. Abri sem querer. Que merda. Tem outro javali ali, ó. O boss é aqui, hein? Mano, acho que eu tenho uma poção que eu não sei aonde. Alguém me deu uma poção que é pra tirar essa merda desse frio chato do caralho. Ixi, agora. Cara, alguém me deu uma poção em algum lugar. Que era pra tirar esse negócio, esse status de frio aí, proteger mais, alguma coisa assim. Agora lascou pra achar.
Good things come to those who don't wait around. That's what they say, anyway. Adventure time. Adventure time. Shadows of fate.
By royal decree, I summon.
Wind, hear me. Let me scry.
Wings of darkness. Come, I summon.
Let me scry. Off we go.
Artefatos. Próxima atualização. Acho que é fevereiro, velho. Tá faltando achar mais um javali, né, velho? Pra aparecer o Boss. Será que ele tá pra cá? Tá, explorar aqui.
Delve into death. By royal decree, everybody stand back. Written in the stars. Delve into death. Oz, reveal thyself.
É, então, eu passei ali, só tinha dois. Ó, pra cá não tem, velho. Era ali os javali congelados, não era? Deixa eu abrir esse baú aqui que tá o negócio.
Adventure time.
Ou eu passei reto de um
Adventure time.
Mas só tinha dois, pô.
Adventure time.
O boss não deve ser aqui não, então.
Shadows of fate. Get out of here! Take cover!
No rest for the wicked.
Mano, o bagulho chato esses caras com essa porra.
I swear by my sword! Everybody stand back!
Quebra essa merda, só.
Shadows of fate.
Ó, aqui em cima tem alguma coisa, né? Meio óbvio. O bagulho quer que nós suba. Pô, vem que a gente vai se folder aqui, né? É, se eu tivesse usando ameno com golpe ameno não era pra coisar? Um baú aqui, velho. Ali, mas tem um javali ali, ó, Magal. Mais um jarva. Pronto, matei 3 já. E aí? What the fuck? Nossa, fudeu muito. Que isso, velho? Ó, foi que essa merda.
By royal decree.
Ó, fuck. Ô, mas que bagulho chato essa porra dessa montanha, mano. Meu Deus do céu. Tô no time aqui não. Caralho, nunca tinha visto aquele negócio ali.
Adventure time.
Esse furacão aqui, velho. Porra, é essa?
Adventure time. Off we go.
Aqui tem mais javali, ó. Aqui tem algum puzzle, mano. Porque tem esse monte de cristal aqui. Tá, pera aí. Deixa eu só ver o que tem nessa área aqui. Aqui tem algum puzzle pra fazer, porque tem muito cristal junto.
Adventure time.
Meu Deus, mas eu não tava no...
Adventure time.
Esse cristal, esse monte de cristal aqui é porque é muito frio nesse caralho. Ah, eu tô perto então de onde é esse javali aí que você marcou. Deixa eu ver. É aqui, né, ó. Marcou, tem que ir mais pra frente. É, seguindo aqui, mano. Vamos ver o que vai dar aqui.
Off we go. Off we go. Off we go.
Acho que é ali na frente, Magão. Tá cheio dos bichos aqui. Nossa, Vadiane tem...
Delve into destiny. Getting a little cold? Odds reveal. Want to get a little closer? Shadow Wave. Black Knight fall. Fate is upon me. I summon thee. Wind, hear me.
Morre, desgraçado. Cara, sobe muito rápido aqui o bagulete aqui, velho.
Adventure time.
muita coisa pra explorar, você é louco.
Shadows of fate. Odds revealed by. Get out of here! Everybody stand back! Delves into. Odds reveal thyself!
Achar um cristal.
Off we go! Off we go!
Meu Deus, tem coisa pra caralho pra fazer, isso é louco.
Off we go!
Ele tá subindo a montanha ou ele tá dentro da montanha, velho?
Off we go! Off we go! Off we go!
Ah, tá lá, arrombado. Ah, que merda, velho. Porque você falou que ele tá aqui, né, ó. Apesar que eu tô indo pra lá, eu tô meio que indo pra lá. Deve ter alguma passagem aqui embaixo, eu acho. Vamos ver.
Adventure time! Adventure time!
Mano, eu não sei pra que serve esse negócio aqui. Não lembro. Eu vou pegar porque essa porra deve ser importante. Meu Deus do céu. Tá. Você falou que é aqui, né? Tá, dá pra pular daqui, eu acho, ó lá. No lugar, vamos ver. Pra cá, né? Tô vendo já os bichos congelados.
Adventure time!
Vamos ver se eu... se esse javali é o bichão mesmo.
Adventure time!
caralho. Bom, não sei se esse bicho é forte, né? Vamos comer aqui um...
Let me scry. On for field life.
Caralho! Você é burro, cara. Você bateu a cabeça sozinho, hein?
Teamwork is strength. Let me scry.
Ai, arrombado. Deixa eu ficar aqui. Filha da puta. Eita, caralho.
Why do they never miss? Center time.
Bicho tá puto.
Shadows of the written in the stars. I swear by my sword.
Bicho dá carne pra caralho, né? Era esse aqui o esquema do Javas? Javas. Vai morrer congelado nesse cara aí. Cadê o... É isso, javali, mano? Vi uns malucos chorando. Tava de ajuda pra matar javali, o caralho. Achei que era boss semanal, sei lá. Não quero nada não. Deixa eu ver o negócio. Na árvore lá. Deixa eu ver se dá pra gente upar alguma coisa nela. Eu tô com 14, dá pra upar lá. É muito fácil esse javali, minha, pelo amor de Deus, velho. Muito fácil. O bicho fica dando cabeçada sozinho na parede, velho. O que eu tô na dúvida é, essas árvores, ela não tem tempo, né, pra gente upar, a gente pode upar na hora que a gente quiser, né? As árvores. Dia do evento. Não tem nada escrito aqui desse esquema. Ah, não, tem sim. Tintura brilhante. What the hell? $16. Ah, tá suave. 16 dias. Tá suave. Tem talento, tem livrinho. Tintura brilhante, tintura quente, tintura milagrosa. Ah, tá. Fuck. Nossa, então a região da montanha não é permanente no jogo. What? Eu achei que a montanha fosse, tipo, ficar pra sempre, tá ligado? Que loucura, cara.
Oh, ow! Where did that come from?
Caralho, que loucura, mano. Eu achei que o negócio era fixo. Não entendi isso aqui. O pá árvore é o evento. A montanha em si não, né? Porque não faz sentido a montanha ser o evento, tá ligado? Pra mim não faz sentido. Então, não faz sentido a montanha inteira ser um evento. A árvore ali, beleza, o pá espada, ok, mas a montanha ser um evento é meio estranho, tá ligado? Sei lá.
You're back. Good timing. I've just about reached the conclusion. You took quite a while. Did you get held up on the way back? Time for the results. We got a myriad of data today, and it was very difficult to finish all the research in one go. But the integral preliminary conclusion that I can offer you is you're very much like a human from this world.
É, então, eu vi, tipo, um ranking de cidade, então, sei lá. É porque eu acho que eu não liberei o evento em si, né? Que eu vi que o evento vai liberar depois que eu fizer segundo encontro, alguma coisa assim.
You couldn't tell that just by looking?
Deve ser depois dessa missão,
We
eu acho.
spent all day working our butts off for that?
Please, I understand that this may have seemed self-evident to you, but in fact, nothing in this world should be taken for granted. Have you ever considered that the world of Tevat may have a natural hostility to Outlanders? I mentioned the natural laws of this world. You're able to converse with me here without consequence, and nothing seems amiss.
Mas de qualquer forma, sempre tem muito mais tempo do que precisa pra fazer os eventos, tá
The
ligado?
only other
Se eu
life
jogar
form
aqui uma
that,
semana seguida
like
aqui,
you,
dá
has come
pra
here
ver de
from
boa.
afar, is the seed that I mentioned. But after I observed you, I had another idea. Imitating you helped to inspire my alchemy. And so,
Whoa! It looks like something's appearing!
Ah, pô.
the transition from nothing into something, from shoot to stem, and now to fruition. Is not nurturing otherworldly life also nurturing the world itself?
Aww.
It would seem that that's as far as we go. A transient bloom of incomparable beauty. Life's proudest achievement.
Paimon thought with all our efforts, it might have bloomed forever, and it didn't even have any fruit.
Life is a manifold tapestry of free entities. Its value shouldn't derive from how long it stays with us. Even a momentary burst is precious. A short life can be well lived. A life lived efficiently, lived to perfection, is necessarily one unburdened by loneliness. So, do you understand what I meant about us conversing here arguably being a small miracle?
Huh? Things feel a little heavy right now. Don't be sad. You've got Paimon to look after you. Albedo, Paimon really wants to be your friend.
Thank you both. Even if dispelling loneliness is not essential for life, it certainly doesn't hurt. Your help inspired me to discover the means to make a flower bloom. I mean that the time I've spent traveling with you in the mountains was a valuable journey for me. In the future, if the need arises, can I solicit your help again? Well, glad I can count on you. I made a point throughout of telling her how ordinary the results were. But what was that sediment I saw forming at the bottom of the vial? It should not have been there. What could it mean? Those born of Earth are bound by its imperfections, but those born of chalk are free of impurities. You and I are alike, both composed of a substance that has yet to be fully defined. If, one day, I lose control, destroy Mondstadt, destroy everything, can I rely on you to stop me?
Caralho.
Huh? Look at that. Looks like someone made camp here. Are other people adventuring nearby? Let's see how our fellow explorers...
Espada pútrida. Tem alguma missão lendária? Não tem.
No one's joined me on an adventure in ages. Come on, let's go!
Dá pra gente dar um tiro aqui, né? Enterro una morte. Olha, tem um Bennett aqui, hein, mano? Aí sim.
Come and have some hot soup, or you might just freeze.
Ixi, o que mais peguei agora foi carne, meu filho. Olha aqui. Essa comida nós vamos usar. Vou fazer um monte já. Ixi, não tem bônus de porra nenhuma. Eu acho que a montanha ela não vai sumir. A montanha é permanente. É o evento que a gente abre depois que libera uma parte da história. Que tem que fazer. Caralho, tudo errado. Aí sim. Ixi, eu até perdi. Qual foi a comida com o cara, velho? Que eu acabei de fazer. Macarrão, sopa. Camarão, rolinho, ensopado de gema. É esse, né? Agora aquela porcaria de frio não vai encher tanto o saco. É, então, não vai sumir não. É o evento mesmo. Qual que era o esquema da espada aqui, meu Deus? Tem uma missão aqui.
Hey, it's Sucrose! Are you here to explore the snowy mountain too? Please, don't scare me like that. I was giving my research report some much-needed consideration.
But you were just standing over there, staring into space.
Not at all. I was just thinking of a name for a new subspecies of sweet flower I propagated. It has seeds that are 4 times as large as normal. Oh, are you interested? Wonderful. Next time, please allow me to show you the fruits of my work. It's a shame. If I wasn't coming to this mountain, I would have brought some samples with me.
Yeah. Weren't you doing research in the city? How come you're here?
Timaeus and I were helping Albedo organize research data. Timaeus just left, in fact. You didn't run into him?
Sure didn't.
He said that he wasn't as sharp as Albedo when it came to data. By quite a long shot, in fact. The significance of some things Albedo is able to grasp almost immediately, but we, on the other hand, take considerable time. I fear that this must be the difference in our knowledge and experience showing. Timaeus seemed rather depressed about the matter. He said he was going to take a walk, so I'm currently settling the leftover affairs myself. I was originally going to take a look around myself after finishing up here, but unexpectedly, I gleaned some interesting data from these reports. But, well, guess my search for secrets will have to wait.
Secrets? Ooh, what secrets?
Actually, do you two have time right now?
Don't have anything on us but that.
Then, could I ask you for a favor? In truth, I feel like Albedo is concealing something from myself and Timaeus.
But isn't he your teacher? What would a teacher have to hide from his students?
That's true, but I feel like he's always hiding something. It is my personal guess that it is some great secret of alchemy.
Wait, how are you so sure?
Timaeus and I are both passionate researchers of alchemy. If it was anything else, Albedo wouldn't have any reason to hide it from us.
You do have a point.
Could you help me investigate what it is that Albedo's hiding? Please. I'm just too curious.
What do you think?
Yes! Thank you, thank you.
All right. Let's take a little trip, shall we?
Off we go!
Rapaz. Uai, mas eu já tô no evento, não tô no evento, tô entendendo porra nenhuma. Disponível. Ah, não abriu ainda essas lojas. Essa loja, pelo que eu entendi, essa loja tá valendo, certo? Essa aqui vai abrir amanhã. Essa aqui vai abrir daqui a 5 dias, né? Ok. Agora vai dar pra explorar melhor lá sem a porcaria do negócio enchendo o saco. Friozinho chato.
Adventure time!
Why are you here? Are you lost?
No, we're not.
A secret?
Hey, what are you doing? Our mission calls for a delicate approach. Sure, but still.
Actually, you've arrived at just the right moment. I have business with you too, in fact. Here, catch.
Huh? What's this?
As you can see, it is a sword. I did not make the sword. However, I did add some alchemical touches to it. Would you like to try it out? My research indicates that this sword has some unique properties. Only you can use it. But I need to gather data from it quite urgently. So, could I bother you to use it in battle?
Wait a second. How can there be a sword that only one person can use?
Very astute of you. This sword has indeed had a curse laid upon it. An ordinary person would be unable to wield it at all. However, you are an exception.
Huh?
Or perhaps I should say that only you are immune to the curse. As such, who could I find to help me if not you? We gain little from saying more. Go find some monsters nearby. After all, some things are best discovered through practice.
Que loucura, cara. Calma, o que essa espada faz? Espada pútrida. Aumenta 6% o dano da habilidade elemental e em 6% a taxa crítica. Ela tá com bônus de up, né? Tá. Vamos comer o negócio lá. Pior que eu não lembro, mano. Camarão.
Up we go!
How about those over there?
Paimon still has a bad feeling about this.
Get out of here! Midnight Phantasmagoria!
Over here! It's with this brat! Give it back, you thief!
Treasure hoarders? There are treasure hoarders in a place this cold?
Enough talk! Hand it over!
Watch out!
Tá.
Delve into destiny, written in the stars.
Another test subject.
Delve into destiny.
Midnight Phantasmagoria.
Teamwork is dreamwork.
Suffocate!
Why do they never miss? Insubordination.
Go! Jab and cross! Suffocate! Should. Is that tingle? Suffocate!
Delve into destiny. Get out of here.
I got carries. Picked.
Now that's treasure hoarders calling us thieves?
They certainly arrived quickly. Goodness, no.
They seem to have been talking about this sword. What's going on?
Why are you looking at me like that? Of course I didn't steal this sword. Not long ago, the Knights caught a band of treasure hoarders outside the city. The goods they were smuggling were also impounded. This sword was one of those items. We believed it to be stolen plunder, but no one came to claim it. Nor could we find out where it came from, so it languished in our stores. I noticed it quite by chance while in our storehouse. To tell you the truth, such an old sword would see little use outside of alchemy.
You claimed it for yourself? Just like that? So, then what happened? You just took it with you?
Indeed. And I initially intended to perform some experiments on it, but I unexpectedly discovered its true origins in the process. This ancient-looking weapon once passed through the hands of a now-deceased blacksmith. It is a legendary, magical sword.
A magical sword?
It is said that the smith vanished not long after creating the weapon, with the weapon subsequently becoming lost to time. Working backwards from its eventual fate as plunder, one can guess that it was then stolen by the treasure hoarders, where it remained in obscurity till recently.
The blacksmith who made this weapon disappeared? That's kinda spooky. No wonder it's cursed.
Exactly. Do you know the story of Durin in this mountain? Durin was the black dragon who menaced Mondstadt, before finally being defeated by the combined efforts of the Valen and the Animo Archon Barbados. After a fierce battle, the vanquished Durin crashed to ruin here, falling into the thick snow. Snow gathers atop this mountain and never melts, which is a most curious phenomenon. Which leads one to wonder, was Durin's fall here purely by chance, or was it intent?
Could it really have been intent?
Perhaps this place was chosen as a gravesite precisely so that the snow's power could seal the corrosive toxin coming from Durin's body. It seems plausible that Barbados would think of such a method.
Huh. Was Barbados such a capable god?
Well, these are just my postulations. I don't have any evidence. But what's for certain is that this mountain and Durin are deeply intertwined. In fact, I believe that the very sword in your hand has Durin's remains in it.
A dragon's remains?
Indeed. The dragon's eyes, claws, and scales ground into dust before being used to coat the blade. In this way, Durin's corruption and venom entered into the sword and became the source of its power. This is very advanced craftsmanship. I presume that having successfully forged the weapon, the smith must have tried it out themselves in their joy. But using the sword in battle would have allowed the corruption to seep through the blade's handle and into their bodies. Ordinary mortals cannot withstand such power. The blacksmith must then have fled, driven mad by the curse, before meeting their end in some unknown place. You've purified the volunteers before, which is a very rare ability indeed. This ability has protected you from being corrupted or poisoned, and you can completely eliminate their effects, which is why you and only you can properly wield this sword.
Still, this sword really is huge. Yikes! It's glowing!
As far as I'm concerned, this is where the real experiment begins. This sword is still very weak at present. However, it is able to absorb energy, and through that, it is able to constantly become stronger. In some sense, you could even say that it is a living thing. Well then, traveler, adventure with it to your heart's content. I need you to help it grow. I believe that we will soon have all the proof that we need.
Esse aqui é o evento, é? Eita, bagulho tem... Ah, tá suave. Basicamente é ficar matando boss, né? Elevar a espada pútrida para o nível 40. Caralho. Caralho. Mano, como é que eu volto naquele negócio? eu abro a porra do negócio do evento, meu Deus? Ok. A gente completa então. Numa próxima vou dar uma paradinha. Aí depois nós volta.
Off we go!
Explorando mais aqui. Acho que eu vou pôr no Bennett essa espada. Tem vantagem, né, mano? É nóis. Isso aí.